Year's Eve celebration in Kazakhstan?
2006,
TVO 2岁啦。
Goran's been his hero, known him since 10, ball boy for him, then his mentor, advisor. And Ancic, an incredible 5-set win against Robredo in the last round, has just earned a break point in this opening service game. Big man at 6 feet 5 inches from Split in Croatia, same hometown as Goran Ivanisevic. So much hero was Ivanisevic when he won Wimbledon a few years ago. This young guy was playing futures in Canada, flew all the way home. He just wanted to be part of the party.
Well, I joined in the celebration. They celebrated a win in Davis Cup last year, Croatia. And both their players, of course, here. Dick into the quarterfinals. Lubicic will play tomorrow. And Mario Ancic is, first of all, Dick, one of the most likable guys on the tour, but also one of the hardest workers. I mean, he is really a guy that's maximizing his ability, and he's had his best clay court season by far to date this year. Beautifully controlled there. And that match against Robredo, which Ancic won in 5 sets to get here, he was not only getting sick, vomiting during a changeover late in the 5th set, but also cramping during the match. So was his opponent in the final set as well. And he found a way to gut it out, 7-5 in the 5th.
It was a big win against Robredo, a terrific clay court player. Back to deuce, and this is the 3rd deuce, a long opening game. Federer saved 1 break point. Federer with 4 titles this year. Ancic 1 title in his career. Head-to-head, they've played 3 other times. Federer winning 2 of the 3. As you've already heard, Ancic, his 1 win was 4 years ago at Wimbledon in the 1st round, defeated Federer. Federer hasn't lost on grass since. Ancic had a chance in the opening game, but Federer denies. We're underway. Let's go back to that match in the round of 16 that went nearly 4 hours, Patrick.
Mario Ancic there leading the way. Tommy Robredo, who won the tournament in Hamburg. In fact, he beat Ancic in the semifinals along the way, and this was just an absolute grind, this match. You see, that's where Ancic was getting cramps in the left leg, could barely walk. He took an injury timeout. So did Robredo. As both players struggling mightily to stay in it in the final set. Ancic, that's where he's so effective, Dick. And what I think he has to do today is coming forward, using that big wingspan. He's not going to be able to out-rally Roger Federer, but he's going to have to try to get some short balls and be aggressive in attack. And he's got an excellent 2-handed backhand, which allows him to really take some swings at the ball and move forward.
Does he dare serve and volley against Federer?
I think he'll mix it up a little bit, but, you know, on this surface, that's been very difficult to do. I don't think you'll see him do too much of that. Of course, his best result in the slams has been at Wimbledon when he reached the semis a few years ago. He'll be a factor there as well. He's showing that for the big fella, he has some feel as well. A little drop shot there. Andy Roddick took out Ancic in that semifinals at Wimbledon.
Two years ago, when he was only 20 years of age, he announced that he's going to be a player. And there's his first ace. Bronze doubles winner at the Olympics in 2004 with Lubicic. And of course that combination defeated the U.S. in the Davis Cup. a year ago and went all the way on to beat Slovakia for the title, Davis Cup title. And they've got another Croat. Here's this country of 5 million, Dr. Ivo Karlovic. Right. They really have some talent.
We have a young kid coming up. He's one of the top juniors, Mario Silic, as well.
Ivan Isavic, of course, the national hero that really inspired all these young guys to take this game seriously, and that it was a chance to be a star in it. Double fault comes at 40 love. And because of his lanky build and his style, easy to see why he'd be called Baby Goran. Skids that serve off the line, and easy hold for Ancic. Let's get to know this gentleman from Switzerland. 24 now, 7 Grand Slam singles titles since turning pro back in '98 as a teenager. And only 3 losses this entire season, all 3 to Rafael Nadal. His best effort was last year here at Roland Garros, as he got to the semis, losing in 4 sets to Nadal, the eventual champion. And of course, all the purists, the fans, the media anticipating a possible rematch in the finals this year, as they are seeded 1 and 2. Last year Nadal was the 4th seed, and so they met in the semis. Prevailing in that rally.
Well, for the first time, they started this event, the Grand Slam event, on the Sunday. And that's when Roger Federer played in the qualifier Hartfield of Argentina. He wasn't too happy about that. It was a windy, cold day. Federer struggled. He struggled again against Masu in the 3rd round, the Chilean, in the last 2 sets. But he really started to put it together against Thomas Berdych in the previous round, winning that easily.
Telling the press, I am really happy with my performance against Berdych.
That's good defense from Ancic, but there's a problem for him is that Federer just has so much time here, and it's not good enough just to play defense. You've got to try to hurt Federer when you can. So even though Ancic is moving well, he's covering the court well, he's got to be careful not to play into Federer's hands by almost being too consistent. I think he's got to take more chances.
Good return there. Best effort this year for Ancic. He reached the finals in Marseille and Auckland. It's his 4th trip to the French Open. He's 9 and 3.
That's a couple points that'll suit Ancic well. A couple big returns and trying to get Federer out of his rhythm a bit. There's Tony Roach, the coach of Federer in his 2nd year.
A little early to go to the fingernails, huh?
He knows how much this title means to his man. Complete his career slam and have it keep his chances alive to win the Grand Slam this year. Oh, that's just beautiful.
Ancic was in control of the point, but the defense of Federer got him back in it.
Oh, Federer just calmly plays that back, and look how he takes his time here, measures it, slides perfectly into the ball. Impeccable timing and balance.
Federer with the hold. It's 2-1 on serve. Underway in this quarterfinal match at Chatrier. Federer to see if anyone can put a dent in his bid for the Grand Slam.
We're getting closer, aren't we, Dick? I mean, we've been hyping it all along. The Federer-Nadal matchup in the final. Now both guys 2 matches away, and I think, Federer feeling very good about himself, as we talked about in his previous round.
Young Mario Ancic trying to make things difficult on him. Serving at 1-2 in this opening set. It's the first point, and a solid forehand from the big Croat.
I think at this stage of the tournament now, Dick, yes, it's certainly about advancing for Roger Federer and getting that one step closer. He was confident after losing here last year in the semifinals. He said, listen, that's the best I've done at Roland Garros. I feel good that I can go deep in the tournament. I think I can go further. And now it's also about, I think, trying to conserve your energy. You can see the finish line. As all the great players talk about, there's Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras, playing your best tennis in week 2. And now we're right into the thick of it. And Federer has not lost a match in a major since Nadal beat him here on this court.
A year ago, 25 straight Grand Slam matches won by the world's #1 player. So he continues his attack on the all-time record list. So many pages in the record book.
Also, the conditions are getting a lot more to Federer's liking now. And early in the tournament, it was very cold, it was rainy, it was overcast. But now the weather warming up, just a little bit of breeze. And as we can afford to look ahead to the weekend, Dick, the weather looks like it's going to be much warmer, much drier. And that should be good news for Roger Federer with his aggressive attacking game.
Chair umpire is Emmanuel Joseph, a Frenchman, with a call of let. As you see, Anna Ardenne now up a set and a 3-love lead in the second. Apparently on her way to a meeting in the semis with Kim Clijsters.
Just missing the volley there, did Ancic. It's so impressive with his ability to use the court, the big Croatian, for a guy at his size. Really has been moving well on the clay, gets in there and just punches it, but misses it wide. And key for Ancic here, Dick, as well, to stay with Federer early, because I think the fact that he had such a tough physical match in the previous round, if you get down a set and you're playing Federer, the energy can come out of you quickly. He's got to stay with Roger early.
128 miles an hour on that first serve. Certainly has the big angle to manage that serve at 6-5. That was a exhausting match with Robredo in the last round to make it through. Robredo was favored to win that one. And Ancic from 2-1 down, 6-4 and then 7-5 in the fifth to advance to this quarterfinal date with Federer. And here's a break point for Roger Federer. Ancic had a chance in the opening game to break Federer, but quickly was denied.
Fredrik Rosengrens, a Swede, he coached Magnus Norman, amongst others, former #2 player in the world. He's been with Ancic since summer of last year, and he continues to make excellent progress. Mario Ancic, he'll be in the top 10 after this tournament, win or lose today. Mentioned that 5-set win over Robredo, Dick. He also
little scuffle in that second round.
Little fisticuffs almost against Paul Capdeville in the second round. The Chilean, Ancic and Capdeville had some words at the end of the match, as the Chilean thought that Ancic double hit a ball or got it on the second bounce on match point. They had words, and the umpire had to get between them. They both got fined, was it $3,000?
Yes.
Yeah.
Put a small dent in their purse for their effort here in this championship, and another Federer chance to break.
And that's why, Dick, Ancic doesn't look at the serve and volley too much, because on the clay, it gives Federer that extra time. He gets it down at the feet. Even if you make that volley, you're going to have to come up with another tough volley off the Federer passing shot.
Oh, that was a good serve. That had plenty of action on it as he sliced it down the middle. So 2 breakers saved by Ancic in this 1-2 game. Negative grunt from Federer. Thought he should have done more with that return. Interesting point. And finally, Ancic with a winner as Federer teasing him with that slice backhand in the corner. Ancic holds for 2-all. Well, on this 61st anniversary of D-Day at Normandy, we have an absolutely magnificent day. 70 degrees, very little wind, sunny skies. Old Glory just gently waving at times. Gives us a day of thought for the true heroes of our lifetime. Not many of them left to help to liberate this country and those who reside out at Normandy and those with whom we have visited. At least that generation will never forget.
That's what I think Roger would like to do a little more of, or certainly his coach would like him to do more of. As Henan Arden loses 1 break, but she's still up another 3-2. Is serve and volley a bit more of himself. Start to look ahead towards Rafael Nadal, what he's going to have to do to win that. And then you might ask the question, well, should he be doing that in the quarterfinal of a Grand Slam? And when you're Roger Federer, yep, you have that luxury. You're that good.
Well, 40 love point. This is where Mats Wilander, he would do just that, serve and volley with a
even
good
if Mats would serve and volley, why not Roger?
Easy hold at love. They're on serve in the opening set. putting pressure on Federer's serve. This is his second break point in this game. 3-all opening set. Oh. That's the third break point in this opening set for Ancic. 2 in this game. Quickly erased by the powerful forehand of Federer. But Ancic has played a very thoughtful set.
Really well. I've been very impressed with the way he's moving the ball around. Another good return there, just off the line. Another opportunity at the first break of the match.
Well, the women so formful throughout this championship, but it's interesting. A 2 seed against a 5, Clijsters against N. Arden, and a 16 seed, Vidasova, against number 8, Kuznetsova. And a slice service ace to deny again.
Again, Federer throws that ball behind his head as if he's going to hit the kick serve, and then he slides it up the middle. He's done that twice in a row now on these break points.
And finally, a game point for Federer.
Avantage Federer.
Dangerous service game for the number 1 player in the world. But he's been able to come up with the right stuff with Ancic 3 chances to break. Oh, way off the mark there. Federer holds 4-3, first set. Following in the Croatian legacy that began with Niki Pilic is Mario Ancic.
Hi, I'm Mario Ancic, representing Croatia. Winning Davis Cup for me was maybe the nicest experience I had so far in my career, and it meant a lot to me, to my teammates, and to the whole country. I had a great clay season coming from, and just focus on my game, try to be aggressive. Of course the legs will be tired, but just to step up, and if I can come to my level, then that's the only thing I can promise. I really enjoyed this moment. I'm really happy. Great win for me and great fight.
Mario Ancic in his best ever performance in the French Open to this quarterfinal, and you notice he mentioned his country, and I think of all the players from around the world, there's no group that is more patriotic than the Croatians.
So much camaraderie between the players, and really it was a 2-man team between him and Ljubicic.
They're a pretty formidable doubles team, aren't they?
Well, they beat the Bryan brothers. That's the only match the Bryan twins have lost in Davis Cup in doubles. And for you doubles fans, the Bryan brothers had a win earlier today in their quarterfinal match, so they're into the semifinals. But Ancic talked about his good clay season here this year. Dick, he reached the semis in Hamburg. We told you about that, where he lost to Robredo. He also reached a quarterfinal in Rome, the Italian Open. And thus having the success here in Paris.
Just long. Where do you think he'll play his best tennis? Hard court, grass?
I think he's probably the biggest threat on grass. Be just purely because there aren't that many real pure grass court players. I mean, obviously there's Federer, there's Roddick, there's Hewitt, guys that are comfortable there. But Ancic, remember, as you mentioned, Dick, he's the last guy to beat Federer. Of course, that was a few years ago. He reached the semis there 2 years ago. Got the big serve. He returned serve well.
Not quite long enough to reach that return from Federer, so it's 3-4, 30 all.
You know, there's an uncanny ability of Federer, Dick, to sense what his opponent's doing after the serve. You know, Ancic has mixed in a few serve and volleys, and it seems like each time he has come in, Federer sees it so quickly and he's able to react to it, whether he slice it low. That time he went up the line with the return. It's a certain kind of timing he has with his hand and a rhythm that he can adjust at just at the last second. He's watching the ball, but he sees his opponent at the same time.
Caught the line. And with that, Federer has a break point.
The backhand down the line sets it up for Roger. He didn't really do enough with this one, but he got himself close to the net. Should have put that away. He makes no mistake here.
He had a break point in the Ancic 1-2 game. Had a couple, in fact, and could not convert. Chance for a 5-3 lead for the number 1 seed. Good serve. Oh, that'll play well on any surface.
Yep.
Where does he have to improve, Ancic, to really jump into the top 5?
I think he's got to get maybe a little more weight a shot off the ground with, you know, the forehand side is more consistent now, but maybe be a little more aggressive. Yeah, that's that ball that can fly on a little bit. Not sure he's top 5 material, although if you see now that he's going to move into the top 10, Dick. I mean, if he makes a big run at Wimbledon, gets to the semi or the final, that could put him there.
Of course, Ivan Lubicic, his countryman, is seated 4th here, and he's through to the quarterfinals. He'll play tomorrow. And again, facing break point, he's able to come up with a winning serve.
Just nice about the later rounds, you're seeing confident players. You know, both of them down break points, delivering big first serves to get out of trouble.
Pleasing to the fans as well. Sun splash crowd here at Chatrier, and another service winner.
Avantage Ancic.
Point here for 4-all. Peppermint stripes today by the Lions people. That was a clever forehand slice down low for the big guy, Ancic, and it wins him the point, and he's 4-all. We remind you the World Cup is here. Starts Friday, ESPN 2 delivering the first 2 matches, 11:55 just before noon. Host Germany takes on Costa Rica, and then just before 3 Eastern time, it'll be Ecuador and Poland. ESPN and ABC, your home for every game of the World Cup. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
Is that a soccer thing, Dick? Just start all the games at 5 of? What's that deal? It's a World Cup thing.
5 minutes to get the lineups in.
Okay, all
right. You know, set the scene, and then you're right on the hour.
Okay.
Then you have that penalty time and injury time that's always confusing. Why don't you use the clock and end it when the time's up?
No one knows except the referee.
That always bothers me a little bit. But it is such an exciting time. The anticipation here on the continent, I mean, it's just all you can hear and read about.
Second set.
Of course, France won the World Cup. What was that?
98, I think.
98, yeah, 98.
2002 was Brazil.
Good defense by Federer to capture that point.
It's really what's different about Federer's game, Dick, than from the other great fast-court players. Boris Becker, Edberg, my brother John, Sampras. Federer grew up on his comfortable slide, comfortable moving. He plays defense so well.
And of course, the man he's trying to defeat here in Paris this year, the defending champion, Rafael Nadal, defends it as well as anyone. Now, he just is stunning what he did in the Leighton Hewitt match in the round of 16. Hewitt so many times appeared to have the point won and would have against most players, but not Nadal. There's Federer. Love 40 now. Rather 40 love on his 4-all game. And throws in the ace.
Yeah, that's a fake kick up the middle.
Not too far from the Seine and the Eiffel Tower. The grounds of Roland Garros and the Bois de Boulogne to the west of Paris. Live, it's Mario Ancic serving opening set 4-5 against the favorite Roger Federer, world's #1 player. Ancic with his best season ever, 31-11 coming in to this match. And the winner of this match to meet David Nalbandian or Nicholas Davydenko. They're about to play over on Cezanne Longland.
Oh, yes. 2 excellent points from Federer as he looks to up his level to try to close out this set.
How about this 17-year-old from Czech Republic, Nicole Vidasova, beats Amelie Mauresmo and then Venus Williams after losing the opening set to Venus Williams today. Safina was in charge of that opening set and fell apart. Kuznetsova goes on, and the 2 Belgians, Zena Arden and Kleisters, will meet in the semifinals.
That Vidasova got some serious talent, huh? Boy,
just turned 17 in April.
The ball. Yeah.
Does it catch the line? Yes. Right at the feet of the umpire, Joseph.
Sneaks in after the second serve. Look how quickly he got in there. So when you work hard, you move well, you get a break. He needed that one.
I work hard. I never get a break.
Hey, you got to call the match with me.
I don't move too well. That's my problem. 15 30-second ball.
Good heavy shots there from Ancic, pushing Federer behind the baseline and then setting up the approach. is not where Federer wants to be, 10 feet behind the baseline. He can play a little defense, but he prefers to be right on top of the baseline, controlling the points. More difficult to pull that off consistently on the clay. Oh, that's beautiful. Slicing the backhand, that's the one that set it up. The heavy forehand there, and then he accelerates through this one, quickly gets in, and goes back behind the 6'5" Ancic, who's got to move to cover the open court.
Another break point for Federer, unable to convert in this opening set, and should he come through in this occasion, he'll own the first set at 6-4. Serve and volley.
Just love the way Ancic is mixing his game up. It's really impressive.
Gave Federer something to think about as he snuck in behind that first serve.
And he took a lot off that first serve, Dick. It was only 102 miles per hour as he kicked it. You see 164 kilometers on the gun there behind Federer. He's really thinking out there.
A mathematical genius coming through again, the way you convert.
Isn't it amazing how I do that so quickly?
Wow.
And you thought Gilbert was a numbers guy.
Oh, yeah. Brad Gilbert. By the way, he'll be in tears if he doesn't get that matchup on Sunday. Federer and Nadal. We're going to really have to coddle him.
Oh, yes. Federer's movement again. Beautiful stretch return there. He somehow was able, look how he gets his racket on this and keeps it low. It's where his ability to read the play, that one-handed backhand helps him.
And look at the way he flicks this forehand. Bam, he gets extra pop on it and handcuffed Ancic. And another set point for Federer. Just caught the back of the line. Well, you've got to give high marks to this 22-year-old Croatian. He's very competitive against the world's best. Good set for him. See why there's so much promise in his future, and his coach Frederick Rosengren trying to give him some long-range positive reinforcement.
Again, Roger with the stretch return, keeping it low.
Such a good serve.
A lot of action on that. Kicking away from Federer, but still was able to get enough on it, give himself another chance to wrap up this set.
His seventh chance to break Ancic. Third in this game, all set points. Even the mishits go in. Oh, bad luck for Ancic. The opening set to Roger Federer, 6-4. Highly entertaining stuff here at Chatrier. Let's go to Chris Fowler.